Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we're having just a gentle conversation.
Yes. About this little bitty thing, this super chill event that happens every year in Indianapolis called Gen Con. I got a chance to go to Gen Con this past week, and I just want to kind of go over my thoughts, kind of talk about all the things that happened, all the things that I did. This is, just a big giant board game convention, probably the biggest one in the United States. I would argue probably the second biggest one maybe in the world, besides the Essen Spiel, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure PAX U is going to be on its heels soon because the PAX people know what they're doing.
Yeah, the heck yeah they do.
But as of right now...
I've never been. I'm just talking about the advertising.
What a spectacle. What a grand, big old spectacle Gen Con is. I think the number they're giving out is 50,000 plus individual attendees at Gen Con. Obviously, in 2021, they had Gen Con, but it was reduced.
And the time was changed.
Yeah, the time frame had changed, so we were unable to go because we had a wedding that was going on at the exact same time when they changed the dates. One of our cousins and friends. Then plus because of COVID, they had a reduced limitations. And then in 2020, it was just flat out canceled. It was online only. So I hadn't been since 2019. And prior to that, I'd gone for several years in a row. Gen Con's been, kind of like a home away from home. So getting back, it really felt like that. Like, walking the halls, like I knew where everything was. It just felt so familiar and felt so good.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing, was just getting back to Gen Con just was so great. And it really felt like Gen Con was back, too, Of course, 50,000 plus is not as big as like the 65,000, 70,000 that they were boasting in like 2019, but it still felt like Gen Con's back, baby. Gen Con is back. There's buzz, there's excitement, there is people, there's new releases, booths were looking really, really pretty. Just so much fun stuff to talk about and look at and see, and it just felt like, it's like I never missed a beat. They never missed a beat at all. And, they had time to prep for it too. They had like a long time to
But before we get into most of the story time of this, I just want to remind you to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. And now you and I get to enjoy this wonderful conversation of story times with Ryan. Yay!
That's weird. They all have to talk to me like that?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So you see Ryan be like, Bethany told me I have to. And you have to smack him in the face too, like I just did.
All right, so one thing I will notice that there was a departure from the previous years that I'd been is cosplay. It seemed like in previous years, every year I went, there was more and more cosplay. Like lots and lots of people in these crazy, intricate, and cool costumes.
And obscure, like super
obscure. People are like data mining, like bizarre, like C-tier comic book characters that were cool, or like, these, I don't know, there's lots of really cool costumes or combining of things, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember there was that.
The Mary Poppins guy.
The Mary Poppins guy was thinking of. What's his name? Yanzu or whatever. The guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Combined with the Mary Poppins. Oh, so cool.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. And it was great because when we saw him, he was going up
an escalator.
Yes! I totally forgot about that, but that was amazing.
And there was, there was millions of Deadpools. Like, my brother-in-law and I had a contest about, at the beginning of the day, we're like predicting how many Deadpool costumes we would see. Yeah. And it was like a lot. And we were still seeing more than what we had bet. This time, I saw maybe like 20 costumes, like, period.
That's sad. Like I love the costumes, and the girls love the costumes too. And they get like pictures with all these strangers. There's a bunch of strangers in my photo album. It's like going to Disney World, right? You just get like all these strangers are in your photo album forever and always.
But they're wearing these cool outfits that our daughters loved.
Yeah.
And this year I just didn't feel like there was a lot of people in costumes. I don't know why that was. Maybe it was I don't know what the reason was.
If you're a cosplayer, like, can you shed some insight onto that for us? Because that just seems like that's one of the things that we look forward to, I guess. Like, you just want to see people's creativity out on display, and so it's kind of sad that you weren't able to.
Yeah, there's an area kind of out front. It's kind of roped off for people to be able to take pictures with cosplayers and that kind of thing. And in the years past, it felt like that was always just like chock full of people, just like tons and tons of people. And inevitably, some kind of a bunch of Spider-Mans would find each other, and a bunch of whatever would find each other. And there's a whole troops of stormtroopers and Darth Vaders and stuff. This year, every time I walked past, there'd be like 3 people, 5 people, 1 person in the cosplay area. It was very weird. I've been talking about that for a long time, so let's move on. One of my favorite things though was meeting people. It was there's so many cool people in the board gaming hobby that you just get a chance to meet when you are, playing.
Like they're real people. They're not just on the other side of a screen.
Right. It's felt like, because a lot of the people we watch on YouTube channels, the kinds of things or we interact with on say with a dice tower or whatever, we get a chance to actually go up there and give them a fist bump and be like, hey, I love your stuff, or get a chance to play games with people. So that was really, really fun. And just meeting all kinds of people too, not even just content creators, but just people, just getting a chance to play games with people that are outside of our normal circle.
And Ryan tells me that people ask about me, and I don't know if he's actually that's true or not, or if he's just saying that to make me feel good, but it does make me feel good. He could be totally lying, and I'm like, oh.
Invariably, whenever I talk to somebody and they're like, hey, are you Ryan from Ryan Bethany Board Game Reviews? I'm like, hey, yeah, I am. They're like, instead of saying like, oh, cool, they're like, oh, hey, where's Bethany?
I don't know that's true, but Ryan could be saying that just to make me feel better about not being able to go to these conventions.
Well,
keep it coming.
One of the people that I went with this year, our friend Sarah, has a similar height and hair color as Bethany and wears glasses too, and she got mistaken for you once or twice, and it was made it even funnier.
That's awesome. I just absolutely love that. Because Sarah is a genius. She's so smart. I mean, not that people know that, but for me to be like, you mistook me. You thought that the super smart person was me.
I say also, okay, here's a weird thing that happened.
Ooh, do tell.
Okay, eBay came on super, super strong at Gen Con. Bizarrely strong. So they had this huge booth, and it was this 2-story thing with a big wraparound top thing, as well as they had a presence out in the gaming room, and just this huge area in both places. And basically they were just giving out free games. They had designed a game specifically for Gen Con. The name of the game is eBay, Buy It Now. It was this kind of auction game. And they were if people were walking by, they'd say, hey, do you have an eBay account? And if someone said yes, they just hand you a game and sign you up, or whatever. This is free game, and this is Gen Con exclusive, and it's
they're not selling it, right?
They're just handing it out. And in fact, on top of that, not only were they handing out the games, but they're also handing out eBay gift cards and pins. And they had these kinds of...
There has to be something going on. There has to be a lot of people selling games on Board Game. And eBay must be we get in, intentionally in on this market. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, there's all these puzzles that you could solve. And if you solve the puzzle, they literally take you to a place somewhere in Gen Con where you could, find a treasure box of theirs that they had hidden. And they were, really, rare, magic cards and things like that. They were worth, literally thousands of dollars. They claimed, $20,000 worth of these, little Easter egg things they'd hidden all over. It's so weird. So weird.
Didn't you say they were starting this certify thing?
Yeah, so what I think is going on is they are promoting this thing called the eBay Vault, I believe it's called, where you can they certify and sell, hobby type things, say Magic cards or Pokemon cards or Dungeons and Dragons materials, the old classic stuff that is, first generation and is authenticated. They'll verify that it's actually real and then sell it on eBay. So I think that's one of the things they were promoting is, hey, this is a great avenue for board gamers to go and find legit good stuff. Yeah. Because especially on Amazon, there's so many fake copies of things. It's not Amazon's fault per se, but it's just it's easy to infiltrate that system.
I'm curious. Let us know in the comments below. Do you have an eBay account? Are you interested in eBay getting involved in this?
Yeah, what's going on here? Do you have an inside knowledge of why eBay is all of a
anybody
sudden...
know anything?
And I do know that the BGG has always had this marketplace where you could sell games, and that's closing down. So I'm wondering if they
not the whole thing, right?
No, the whole thing. They've done this beta test of this new version, and that apparently they're shutting that down, as well as the original classic version as well. They're shutting them both down September 1st. So I was wondering if maybe they got wind of this and they were like, hey, let's fill that gap of used game sales, kind of swoop in there.
I didn't realize that it was all shutting down.
Yeah, I didn't either until recently. So it's just this weird thing. eBay's a weird thing. All right, next up, off topic.
I'm still like on the board game marketplace. Like completely
I know.
shutting. When is it shutting down?
September 1st.
That's soon.
I know. So buy your games quick, people. So people say that Origins is a really good food convention, which is true. There's some amazing food there. However, I will also argue that Gen Con has some pretty sweet hidden gems. All right, so I went with some friends of ours who are vegan, and I like to try to eat as vegetarian-ish as possible. I'm not perfect by any means at it, and I definitely don't claim to be a vegan. But whenever I'm around them, I love trying new crazy things. And we went to a restaurant outside of the downtown a little bit called the 3 Carrots. It's this vegan restaurant that just had this amazing, crazy good food. And they weren't, like, pretentious about it. A lot of times these kinds of restaurants will be like, yes, we have the whatever, blah, blah, blah food. And it's really, it's really...
the whatever, blah, blah, blah food.
And it's disgusting and getting really small portions and blah, blah, blah. No, this was, like, delicious and really great food. And with this cool, vibe going on and really nice waitresses and stuff. I just had a great time there. Great food. I didn't go to this one because I had an event, but our friends also went to like a 1930s style like bar. Like they had like a secret entrance to it. They had to go up this secret elevator into this big bar. And like I'm not I don't drink, but I still think that I would have loved to have gone to this and seen this whole
gotten a 7-Up.
What's it called? A Shirley Temple or something. Just because
it's like 7-Up with cherries.
Living it up. Getting wasted.
Shot of lemonade.
Whipped cream.
Ew.
I don't know.
Well, you know what I had? Happy Joe's Taco Pizza that my sister bought while you were at Gen Con. So booyah.
So I would argue that there are some cool hidden gems in Indianapolis. Yes, there's lots of just like normal-ish food, but at the same time, if you're willing to look, you can find some cool food there too. All right, so next thing, AEG. I want to talk about AEG for a minute and just brag about them.
AEG.
Alderac Entertainment Group. They have been one of our favorite publishers for a long time, but they went above and beyond this year. First off, they had. As content creators, we get, I don't know, we're like second-class citizens almost sometimes, or it's like brushed off to the side by a lot of publishers, or we're a nuisance, or whatever it is. They treat us like freaking royalty. They brought us in.
Ryan says us like I was there.
Well, us
I
as a
know,
collective
he's talking
content
about
club.
content creators, so I'm going to pretend I was there.
We got a chance to meet John DeClaire, who is the designer of a whole bunch of games, including Mystic Vale, which is like...
Which I love! Oh my gosh, I am not jealous at all. I don't play this on the app all the time. This isn't a game that I officially know, and I can defeat Ryan and Madden like any time that I want because it's wonderful.
Dead Reckoning, which uses the same kind of card crafting system from Mystic Vale. It's also John DeClaire. He's got another one, Ready, Set, Bet. He's got a ton of games, but we had to meet him. We actually got to play Ready, Set, Bet with him. And they're promoting the Kickstarter for the new Dead Reckoning expansion. So check that out. Tell them that Ryan sent you. I don't know what they'll do. Bethany's sad about this. It's going to be fine, dear.
I'm happy for you, though.
Oh man, it was such a cool event. They just treated us really, really well. On top of that, every year they do the big game night, the AEG big game night. I've never gotten a chance to go before. The tickets are always sold out like instantly, and I'm pretty sure they were sold out this time too because there was a million people there. But they still like hooked us up and let us get in there. Oh my gosh, so cool! We had to play all these games. Lots of AEG designers were there. They had the best run volunteer staff ever. They had just a million volunteers. Every table had their own dedicated like GM there to teach you games. So you have to play all these really cool games. The Guild of Merchant Explorers and That Old Wallpaper and Tiny Towns. They had someone there teaching you all these games if you didn't already know them. And it was just so cool to have dedicated game teachers there teaching you these things. And they were all really well prepared. Our teacher at our table was just so much fun. I don't know, like I said, we felt like royalty. We felt like $1 million after that. And so AG is doing it right.
Like, doing this, it takes a lot more work than I think we thought it did when we first started, right? And just to try to keep up good relationships with people and good relationships with designers and publishers and just other creators, and also just trying to make sure that this is at least entertaining for everybody watching, and so you just felt like you can see that I'm trying.
Right.
Like you can see that I'm trying to work well with you. I'm trying to, give you something to go off of, and like you felt that.
Right.
Yeah.
We want to be as fair as possible with our reviews, and we want to be as honest with our reviews and let people know when a game is good or when it's not good or if it's going to match their tastes or not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so nice when a publisher says, hey, thanks for doing this stuff. It's a thankless job.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
that's it. So also, we are contributors to the Dice Tower. We contribute to the Dice Tower's Board Game Breakfast Show, which is a lot of fun. It's basically these small little content, small little 2-minute reviews, which is really challenging to do, by the way, is get all your thoughts and to cram into 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But as a result of that, I had the opportunity to actually work the Dice Tower booth. I had a shift on the Saturday of Gen Con. You get a chance to meet in person all of the people that we get to watch on the screen all the time. Meet Tom Vassell and Z Garcia and Mike DeLucio and Roy Canada and all these people. It was just so much fun. And I'm also very extroverted, and I got to talk to a lot of people.
Ryan is very extroverted.
I was so charged up after Gen Con.
Yes.
And now going back to work and all that stuff, I work in an office alone. I'm just like, everything's terrible. Yeah. I want to be back with the people.
Ryan loves the people.
Yeah, so it was really, really cool to be able to hang out with all the Dice Tower people and hang out with all the Dice Tower fans. Because even if they're not fans of our channel per se, because of the association with the Dice Tower, they were fans of what was happening behind the booth, which was really, really exciting to be a part of. So yeah, those are some of the things some of my quick takeaways, some of my little things. I'm sure I've got more to say on the topic because it was, 4 or 5 full days of events and excitement and stuff like that. But
still enough stories to get me through to feel like I was there.
Yeah, so if you guys have any specific questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer any questions about this year's Gen Con. It was a lot of fun. Had a lot of meetings with publishers. Got to learn a whole lot of new releases. And we'll be talking about that over the next coming weeks and months as well because we got some really great info.
Yeah, so many amazing things coming up. I'm very excited for you. I'm excited for me to be able to play all these awesome things and for me to share them with you. So it's going to be great. The next couple of months are just going to be fantastic. I'm really excited about all that stuff. So if you want to see all of that stuff, make sure to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. And you can also find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching and listening to me ramble on about Gen Con. We will see you next time.
Bye.